What's up? Welcome to your new favorite podcast, The Ain't Shit Show, the home of booze, views, and unpopular opinions. I want to thank y'all for joining us for episode 32.
Yeah.
My name is Fresh, and with me, I have the best man in all the podcast land representing the Shady Bunch. My nigga, if he don't get no bigger, Mr. B Hill, and the crowd goes wild.
Wow. Yeah, what up, y'all?
Hey,
hope y'all doing all right.
What's up? And we got, he missed y'all. He say he missed y'all. Do y'all think he missed y'all?
I missed you.
He
I
missed
you
y'all.
all. I love you all.
My loves. And
My
we
loves.
have a special guest in the building with us today. As y'all know, is Mental Health Awareness Month. I think we mentioned this on the previous podcast. And with us today, we have licensed psychotherapist and clinical addiction specialist, Dr. Bone.
Dr. Bone in this bitch.
What's up?
Hey, Dr.
For
Bone.
all you crazy motherfuckers out there, we got a psychotherapist.
Aw.
See, look, B starting to join off wrong anyway.
I told you I missed
Starting
you. I missed you.
already.
We starting already.
We don't use that word.
And that's what we here for. We here for the education, and we going to use the right vernacular today. We going to try to do
Absolutely.
the right things. We can't promise you about next show, but we want to take it in as much as we can today. And, we about to do our thing. Dr. Bone, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's good to be here.
So,
Yeah, appreciate you coming out.
Dr. Bone is a good friend of mine. We went to the same college together, and she's just a black woman doing her thing. Run down your resume a little bit for Dr. Bone.
Okay. Well, number one, I just want to say that Sean has me out past my bedtime tonight. But I'm happy to be here raising awareness. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, licensed clinical addiction specialist. So it means I specialize with people who have mood disorders like depression and bipolar, and people who have some issues with some substance abuse. Those are my primary focuses, and I've been doing this for many years.
Many years is what people say when they don't want to get a age, really. They don't want to say 15, 10, 30. She been doing this shit for 47 years, everybody.
No disclosure about age right now.
We staying off that.
I'm healthy.
I know that's right.
No doubt.
That's really all that matter. But yeah, man, how y'all been? How was y'all weekend? What y'all been up to? B, what you been up to?
I ain't do shit, man. It was hot as fuck this past weekend, so I cut grass. Did regular ass dad, husband ass shit. I cut grass. I'm old as fuck because I be like, my grass dying and shit because it ain't been raining, so I'm outside talking to my neighbor about my goddamn grass. I'm like, I'm old as fuck. I'm in here complaining about my water bill, all type of crazy shit, man.
You batting your fist at kids being on your lawn.
Yeah, I'm fucking mad as hell. I'm like, God damn. I'm like, where the fuck is my life gone? That I'm my daddy now.
You your
turning
daddy.
into my fucking daddy. Yeah. I'm my daddy's
You
son.
Mr. Hill for real.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I'm out here.
So Dr. Bone, tell me, what does a licensed psychotherapist do on the weekend?
I am an AAU basketball mom, so honestly, my weekends are consumed with sitting in a gym all weekend, watching my son play basketball, and then having drinks with all the basketball moms afterwards because we're tired. That is what life is like right now.
Or is basketball just so you can get the drinks? Is that how it works?
A little bit of both. You know, that's I definitely appreciate my basketball mom circle of friends. You know.
Got you. I got you.
But if we're not doing that, I'm trying to travel somewhere. That's my new thing. I'm trying to make sure I practice self-care and stay stress-free.
Let me tell y'all something.
Spoken like a true psychotherapist.
She don't be trying to travel. This nigga is always traveling.
I don't know if you can call a psychotherapist a nigger.
I can call. Yeah, you still a nigga. Niggas still do jobs.
This is
I know, I'm just joking.
place you can use whatever language that you feel comfortable using.
Oh,
Thank
about to
you.
get psychoanalyzed in this bitch one time.
Hey, one time. Hey, B Hill gonna fail his test for sure.
Nah,
Hey,
I'm a sociopath, so I know how to pass the test. I think.
hey, here go Trump. Here go this Trump ass nigga. Exactly. Well, I wanna start my weekend off by saying I apologize to y'all that we didn't record last week. That was 100% my fault. I felt like a boiled can of shit last week. It was bad. I was down. I couldn't even fake the energy to come on here. B Hill was definitely
sick
down.
too, though.
He
Yeah,
was
cool.
down, but he was sick, but he was down.
Feel like, I mean, what does that feel like?
It feel like, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it feel like. It feel like all you can do is lay there and breathe out your mouth. That's what it feel like. You turn into a mouth breather. That's exactly what happened.
Lips chapped, shit like that.
They were
Lips
really
chapped.
bad.
Nose dry.
Yeah.
Stinking,
I
I'm
think,
sure. All of that.
Yeah.
Nah, breath never stinking. Nah.
No, everybody gets
You
sick
gotta
breath.
handle that.
Don't even go there. Everybody get that bad
Yeah,
sick
yeah.
breath.
Hey.
No matter how many
Hey,
times
don't
you
talk
brush
about
your
who you
tongue,
wake
it's
up
still
with.
horrible.
Got that third flu breath. I know how it goes.
My breath always sweet. Remember that, guys. Remember that, everybody who
It's a
care
sweet
about my
breath.
breath. But my weekend was dope. It was my sister's birthday. Happy birthday to my sister. I went to DC for the weekend, had a dope party, family and friends. Birthday tour has officially begun. So y'all know it's May, baby. It's May. It's time to get it in. You know what I'm saying?
Let them titties loose. That's it.
Here he go.
I mean, am I going to get some
Psychopath.
invites to
I
these
can't.
festivities and stuff? I told you I want to hang out with you and your friends.
Oh, you want to hang out? First of all, you didn't even make it to Atlanta when you were supposed to make it to Atlanta because you was busy being a basketball mom. So you say, but you know, you always down. You know what I'm saying? I know, y'all people with children are limited in certain things that you can do. However,
I don't like that word.
you always, you hop private jets all the time. So you could
PJs
definitely
on the
get
runway.
to what?
I make
she
it happen.
wearing PJs to the PJ though. So yeah, but yeah, it's my birthday coming up at the end of the month. Dr. Bone is definitely invited to any of the festivities that is going down. But I had a good weekend, man. I can't.
Oh yeah,
I
happy
can't even
belated
complain.
Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You included.
True.
Dr. Bone.
Appreciate
Happy
that. Have a
Mother's
nice
Day.
weekend.
Yeah.
You are appreciated.
What y'all get y'all mamas?
I like to refrain from that because I don't want to incriminate my mother because she's a bit of a hoodlum. So she's all right. She enjoyed what she received. How about that?
Hey, B got his mama £50. Shout out to Mama Hill. Shout out to
Almost.
Mama Hill.
Almost,
Hey,
but yes.
hey, Mama ain't raised no hoe. Y'all know the 2 Chainz song?
You outdid me.
That
I just
shit
took my
lit.
mom to dinner. You know, we just had a nice brunch and that's about it. Relaxed all day.
That was real cute or whatever. You know, niggas love the brunch.
Yeah.
We love
Brunch
brunching.
guy. Yeah, I took my mom out to eat, took my wife out to eat, you know what I'm saying? Took the kids out, you know, had a good time. It was cool.
I took my mom to movies and out to eat. My mom loves a black movie. We went to go see that Gabrielle Union joint.
How was that?
How was
Breaking
that?
in. It was straight. It was what it was. It was straight. I think, you know, it was a cool little movie. I wasn't mad I went. I probably wouldn't have went without my mom. But it's a good little, you know, Netflix bop, you know what I mean? So that was good. For you, Dr. Bone, do you feel like Mother's Day should be a day with your kids? Or like I've always had my kids, this should be a day without my kids?
So now that my kids are 10, I prefer to be without my kids. But it definitely, you know, when I was a new mother, like I wouldn't do anything without having my son with me. I mean, my son went on his first trip to Hawaii because I refused to leave him at home. So, but now it's like, okay, let me have some me time and some downtime. But And I think that just comes with growth and maturity as a parent, that you need a break. You need some downtime from your kids. They start getting on your nerves.
Listen, you taking your son to Hawaii and I couldn't even get nothing out the stove. When I was growing up, I couldn't even touch nothing, and he doing at luau's and shit.
But that was that helicopter mom stage. That was that helicopter mom stage where you didn't want to leave them with anybody, and there's a new breed of moms these years and stuff. But
this nigga got all the phrases. Helicopter mom,
helicopter mom. You want to be hovering over everything.
Nah, I ain't heard of that. That's awesome.
But I'm different now when it comes to that. He can definitely chill out.
I thought helicopter mom was when you take your shirt off and swing it around your head like a helicopter. That ain't it.
When you breastfeeding and shit.
How are you breastfeeding?
Katie Pablo out here. I don't know nothing about that.
Two of North Carolina's, North Carolina's finest, B. You've been in North Carolina for a long time, but you originally from Ohio, right?
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland.
Cleveland represent. Cavs going to
the game is on tonight too.
It is. Hell yeah.
You already know the outcome though.
Not necessarily.
Hey, moving on. Next topic. We're not doing that.
I'm okay.
When did Dr. Bone start directing our motherfucking show?
We're not gonna do any LeBron bashing tonight. I'm not dealing with any of that.
I love LeBron, so we good. It's King James.
I love LeBron. I don't even really like the NBA like that, but I love LeBron. So
okay,
ain't no LeBron bashing on this side.
All right,
hey, good. Niggas be on defense when they people and they teams come up.
Oh yeah,
they on defense and shit.
I'm definitely a big fan. I'm not gonna bash my boy like that.
All right, so look. Let's do something we have not done in a while. This show is about mental health. The main theme of this show is about mental health, but let's play a game just to let's get some fun stuff popping off before we possibly get into some deep stuff. Y'all down to play a game?
Let's do it.
I wish I had the Saw thing. Let's play a game.
Let's play a game.
Y'all will get there. Sound effects and everything is gonna get better and better.
Oh yeah, we almost pay us. Yeah, we need goddamn
niggas. We need money,
and I might pay for being here. Money.
Yeah, hey, we'll get there one day.
We about to get a therapy session in here. I need some. I need to be analyzed. I told you, I'm crazy. I ain't crazy.
He definitely crazy.
What's the word? What is the word that we're supposed to use?
Not right in the head.
Mental illness. You got some mental illness going on.
Oh, crazy. Nigga just crazy.
He definitely crazy, man. And you need to look into that, Dr. Bone, because he asks women to send their vaginas to the show. Like,
I mean, they want to.
I don't think that's crazy. It just sounds like he's horny. Are you getting some on the regular? That is a question that we do ask people during regular sex is a great part of mental health. Are you having sex regular? Are you achieving orgasm when you need to? That's good mental health.
All the above.
He said, hell yeah.
All the above. God damn it, yes. Hey, but I just enjoy the female anatomy. That's all. You know what I mean?
Sounds like you want a little stimulation.
Well, I cannot wait until we get to a certain part of this show so I can understand if these certain celebrities just horny or they got some shit going on with them. We'll see. But what we about to do, guys, we haven't done this in a while, but we have 3 people here, and we gonna try this out again. We gonna go into
menage. This is a ear menage for you all. Enjoy.
Yeah, I'm glad you said ear menage. Don't just say menage and leave it like that, especially when I'm in it with your ass.
It's an ear menage, man. Enjoy.
An eerie menage. So what we about to get into Ain't Shit Shenanigans. And Ain't Shit Shenanigans is our drinking game. Y'all got something to sip on? Yeah, y'all two got something to sip on?
Yeah, Cold Billy.
Dr. Bone, you got something to sip on?
I do. I got a nice bottle of wine I just got from this vineyard last week.
Vineyard money. I'm about to get a cha-ching sound effect to go in this bitch. So let me explain the game to y'all. This is one of the games that was really popular when we were playing games all the time, and it's called The Great Debate. So the topic of The Great Debate today is things black people love. what will happen is I will give Dr. Bone a category and I will give B Hill a category. And each person will have 60 seconds or less to say why their thing is better than the other person's thing. The first person with 3 wins wins the game. And the loser will take 2 gulps or whatever they're drinking, like big gulps. Don't cheat us. And you'll also take a gulp if you lose the round. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Y'all good?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right,
I'm about to
let's
win.
get
I
it.
know fucking Shay.
All right.
I mean, Dr. Bone is fucking competitive as fuck, so this about to be fun.
Hell yeah, Dr. Bone used to play basketball. Man. Dr. Bone
You know that.
is ready.
I'm talking about 7-1.
Ready. 7-1. Hey, I got the 2 tallest people I know on the podcast today.
Oh, big power forward lady ass nigga.
All right, Dr. Bone, tell me if you want category A or category B.
Let's go with category B.
All right, Dr. Bone, go take category B. I'll give you the topic. B, give me a number between 1 and 7.
7. It's the God number.
7. This is a black category too. So here is what you guys will be debating. All right. Dr. Bone, you got fried fish. B Hill, you got fried chicken.
Shit.
Y'all got to tell me in 60 seconds or less. B, you can go first. Why fried chicken is better than fried fish. You ready?
Hell yeah.
Go.
Nigga, fried chicken is the original yard bird. Understand me? We didn't have very much. We had the chicken, right? So we would not only test our skills in athleticism by catching yard bird, we would fry yard bird, and we would batter it, season it, serve it to the white man, and we would be able to sneak our rations as ever so popular we could. That didn't make any sense, but yeah, we would season that shit. And it's just a staple in the black community. It's a pillar. It holds us up. It also gives us high cholesterol and raises our blood pressure. But it's amazing. I mean, like me personally, a 2-piece white is all I need. I don't really do the dark meat. You know, it's weird. I don't know. It's a consistent thing for me. It's a little greasier than the regular, but the shit is amazing. They sell it everywhere. You really can't go get fish. You know, certain places you can go get some fried chicken anywhere, and when you put some Texas Pete on it, it's nothing better. And that's it. That's all I got.
That is time.
That shit was wild.
Hey, that's funny as shit. All right, Dr. Bone, tell us why fried fish is better than fried chicken. Go.
So fried fish is like the poor black man's lobster tail, right? You know, you can't afford lobster tail, but you know you're gonna have a piece of tilapia whiting somewhere. Number 2, everybody makes money off of doing fried fish plates. You can sell them in a Food Line parking lot. The church is selling them in the parking lot. There are kids on the corner of Betty's Ford Road here in Charlotte that are selling fried fish plates in the middle of the street. So we helping raise money for sports teams, basketball teams, cheerleaders, all of that.
See,
and Texas Pete on fried fish is way better than Texas Pete on chicken. Way better. So the fact alone the fried fish helps raise money for the community is better.
All
right. Hey.
Time is up.
She kind of did that in 45 seconds.
Her time is up.
Damn it. She definitely won that one. Dr. Bone won that one. I'm the judge.
Oh shit.
She won that one. I'm gonna tell you why. Because she brought up the entrepreneurial spirit of the food. That's what she killed you on that.
She bodied me with that. Nigga, I brought it about from slavery though. My shit stems from a deep, you know what I mean? Like it's deep seething shit that's going on. Like, you know what I mean?
You're not putting them dollars back in the community with your response. You know, we're trying to give back to the community out here. You know, I'm always about reaching back. Fried fish reaches back. Fish plates. You could be driving home from work and somebody is selling a fish plate.
Well, niggas ain't allergic to chicken. Niggas be allergic to fish.
You had 1 minute.
I know.
That would have been a good one though. That would have been a good one though, B.
But we're not doing rebuttals right now, so
it's overtime. It's overtime.
All right.
That's
next,
the buzzer beater right there.
great debate. B, give me A or B.
I'm sorry. Is he supposed to drink right now? Because I don't know.
Oh yeah, true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, give us a good go.
Go. She's not welcome here anymore.
Dr. Bone trying to replace you, B. And she was trying to run our show.
All right. I'm gonna go with A.
All right, you going with A. Dr.
Yeah.
Bone, give me a number from 1 to 6.
3.
3. All right, this will be a interesting one. B. B Hill. You have to debate why Donald Glover is better than Childish Gambino. This gonna take some thinking. And I think just for time's sake, I'm gonna cut this down to 30 seconds versus 1 minute.
So I'm down. All right.
You got Donald Glover. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay.
Yeah. Versus Childish Gambino. You ready?
All right.
Go. 30 seconds.
Childish Gambino got the worst fucking chest hair you've ever seen in your life. All right. And he's married to a white woman. He said on the Breakfast Club that he wouldn't marry a white woman, and he's since married a white woman. He's created such things as ATL. He's written on a bunch of shows that we all find comical. He fucking, I don't know. He dances weird. I don't know.
Childish
He's got
Gambino
weird
or Donald
shoulders.
Glover?
Childish Gambino, he's got like this weird hair shit going on.
Time.
I don't know.
Time. And I think you confused your characters a little bit.
I don't get it.
I mean, what's wrong with nappy chest hair? Wait a minute. What's that about?
It's just weird. It's just weird.
All right, Shay.
His chest is going natural.
Dr. Bone. All right, so Dr. Bone, you got Childish Gambino. You got to tell us why the persona of Childish Gambino is better than the persona of Donald Glover. You ready? Go. They can't see you
loses.
Confused.
She loses as she's drinking. As she loses.
I'm just going to go ahead and drink.
Take your
I kind of agree with B. So
it's debate club. You know what I mean? It's not about what your thoughts are. It's about the debate.
I don't really have a lot of positive things to say.
So Donald Glover is the writer, actor. Childish Gambino is the musician. That's the difference in the persona. But it don't matter because right now it's 1-1 with B Hill and Dr. Bone. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Bone, give me a letter, A or B?
A.
A, you got category A. B, give me 1, 2, 4, 5, or 6.
Deuce.
All right. And you said A, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Bone got A?
Yep.
All right. So, Dr. Bone, you are first, and you have to debate why Black-ish is better than The Cosby Show.
Shit.
This is things black people love.
So
you ready, Dr. Bone?
I have to debate in that favor.
Yeah. Yes, that's what debate team is. You wasn't in debate team when you were in high school, huh?
I wasn't.
She's a psychoanalyst.
I wasn't at all.
I mean,
that's
all you gotta do is
that's not really fair. I mean, the Cosby Show is like a staple.
Fair.
Show
you about to be drunk.
America.
You're not about listen. You're not about to negotiate. You're not about to negotiate.
Okay, let me try.
All right, just bring up all the great things you know about Black-ish and go. Okay,
so I think Black-ish is more realistic to what actually happens with the average black family. The Cosby Show was, not most of us weren't really living that lifestyle. We didn't have a doctor for a father and a lawyer for a mother. That just wasn't realistic. So I think.
So you had a doctor for a mother and an ad executive for a father.
I mean, I don't know. I just think it's more current, more relatable. Maybe it's my 30 seconds.
Or relatable. Yeah, your 30 seconds is up. All right, B. B about to kill you.
I'm about to smoke you. You might as well go.
Hey, this for your pride.
Pull up. Yeah, she's gonna be drunk by the time she get out of here.
B, debate why the Cosby Show is, and the main thing Bone could have said was they didn't have a rapist on the show. But
can I tell a secret? I don't watch TV.
You were raped by?
I don't watch TV.
I thought she was gonna say she was raped by Bill Cosby. That's a joke. That's a joke. That is super a joke. Sorry, that was super insensitive, and I apologize. But
So
it was funny shit, though.
Oh my goodness!
Can I tell you a secret?
I don't really watch TV. Who's gonna win this one? I'm such a bookworm. I don't really, So let's go, B. Let's go.
All right. Well,
the
Cosby Show had one of the most beautiful women of all time in fucking Claire Huxtable. I forgot her real name just that fast, but nonetheless,
Felicia Rashad.
Yeah, Felicia Rashad. She's the most beautiful woman possibly ever in the world. We all were raised on it, you know what I mean? And it just, we can all recap memories of our lives looking at the Cosby Show, where we either aspired to have a family like that once we got older. And yeah, all that shit. So it was just
time.
Good answer.
B won that because Shay just gave up, and I know Shay got it in her to be a better debate person than this. I have been in several environments where Shay has stated her opinion, and it wasn't on no bullshit. So Dr. Bone, I need you to get your shit together.
I mean, I probably watched Black and White twice since it's been on air. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll give you that one. All right, B, give me A or B.
B.
All right. B and Dr. Bone, 1, 4, 5, or 6?
1.
1. All right. So B, you picked B, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the category, and know these are things that black people love. B, I need you to debate why Ciroc is better than Hennessy.
I hate that because I hate Ciroc. All right, let's do it. All right. I don't give a shit.
Let's go.
Oh, boom. All right, black owned. It's black owned. Fucking Puff owned the shit. It's got mad different flavors for all the shit that you want to do. If you want to goddamn get mango, if you want to goddamn get berry, or if you want to get the regular Blue Dot,
the regular.
You can do that, and you can feel like you Puff, and you can have your old lady feel like she Cassie, and that's it. I win.
And he did that in 20 seconds. All right, Dr. Bone, I'm rooting for you. Let's go. You got to debate why Hennessy is better than Ciroc. Let's go.
Hennessy is my favorite drink, and people consume a lot of babies off Hennessy. I think my son came here off of Hennessy episode. So you have amazing sex when you're on Hennessy. At least that's what I hear anyway. It's smooth, it's timeless, it's classic. It's a lady's drink, it's a gentleman's drink. People don't have significant hangovers off of Hennessy.
I'll be damned.
It's just a real smooth drink.
Time. I
think I won with the first part of this alone. I mean,
black owned, black excellence.
Great sex.
Come on now.
Great sex.
Oh shit. Well, you can get,
it is.
Niggas done got piped like motherfuckers. Women get piped off of the Ciroc.
Come on, B. Come on, B.
I'm gonna go with Dr. Bone on this.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go with Dr. Bones. Although black owned is definitely a plus. That is a plus. But since we not getting none of that money ourselves, I think how we benefit is the great sex. Cause Brown will definitely have you at least trying to make a baby if you can't. All right, sudden death. Y'all ready? It's 2-2. We about to close this shit out.
All
right, y'all ready?
Yep.
All right, Dr. Bone, A or B?
B.
B. All right, B Hill, 1,
4,
4 or 6? You want 4?
Yep.
All right, and you said A or B? I'm sorry.
She said B.
B. All right, this gonna be an interesting one. Things black people love. So, Dr. Bone, you have to debate why the new way of fashion with this urban, very fitted designer clothes that everyone is wearing now is better than the styles of the 90s, where everything was big and colorful and XYZ. Make sense to you?
It makes sense.
All right. So you got 30 seconds to debate why the clothes the Migos wear is better than the clothes that the Lost Boys wore. Ready, set, go.
I don't like this. I can't
she
stand
is
the way
not a
the Migos
debater.
dress.
I thought you were
I
quicker
can't.
on your feet too.
I can't stand the way the Migos dress. I can't. That's
Well, not even the Migos. But
not
like,
even the Migos.
that was
but
a bad
more fitted
reference because
clothes.
that's extreme for me. That's extreme for me. But the fitted, skinny look, I think people have, they get to be more creative with it. Women, I don't know.
Time.
Tomatoes.
Ooh, throw mad tomatoes.
You threw me off with the Migos. I can't stand the excessiveness of the Migos clothing.
We're just talking about the way the clothes fit. Like, people today wear more fitted clothes.
But you threw that horrible reference out there. I mean.
And threw you
if y'all go to Dr. Bone on Instagram, put Mad Tomatoes in her
right.
Mad Tomatoes.
I'm not a fashion expert. And I can't stand the way
damn.
If B, would you wear that? Would you wear those clothes?
Nah, I'm cool on that. Okay.
But he's definitely not dressing like Lost Boys. He definitely not wearing no big ass XXX jeans. Hey, B, go ahead and kill our guest. Killer, you ready? Yeah. Tell her why the 90s was better. Go.
All right, well, you could like stash your drugs in your pants and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're selling drugs, you could like be able to stash it from the police and they couldn't find it. You could sneak a gun or two, maybe like a whole loaf of bread. You could goddamn, fuck up Food Line real quick.
Oh my God.
I mean, you could preserve the tops of your shoes by folding over your big ass jeans. so the tops of your shoes would be fresh to the motherfucker. And that's it. That's all I got.
That was perfect. 30 seconds.
Oh my
God.
So you were putting whole packs of bacon in your pants.
Two big gulps.
Still.
We need you to take 2 big gulps, man. We need you to take 2 big gulps for us. B won that. B is the champ.
Yes,
rounds?
Congrats.
Did I win any rounds?
You won 2 rounds.
Okay.
You won 2 rounds. You won the Hennessy round and the fried fish round.
Hennessy.
You just gave up. Go see your therapist. So why you wasn't ready for the challenge?
You see where my strengths lie. So.
Having sex on Hennessy sound like where your strengths are. And she. I plead the fifth. All right, man. All right, y'all. That was good. I want to thank y'all for playing that ain't shit shenanigans. We have not played in a while. So it was good to play that. Dr. Bone gotta, get her debate skills up. And I done seen this motherfucker argue. So I don't know why she wasn't really good at
she wasn't passionate about it.
Right.
I wasn't feeling it in my spirit.
You wasn't feeling it in your spirit? All right, well, we need you to get your spirit together for this next thing that we talking about. So what we gonna move into is Litter Shit. Litter Shit is our pop culture segment. Where we talk about the shit that's on your timeline, and the overarching theme today is mental health and mental health awareness. So we'll talk about that shit as well. I want everybody to put their cups up. We do a toast.
Yeah.
Put your glass up, Dr. Bone.
Take a toast to the douchebags.
Exactly.
To the asshole.
Hey.
Fuck,
and
no
today.
Kanye references today, sorry.
Oh yeah, fuck Kanye. We know Kanye references. And we going, we need to find out from Dr. Bone what's the difference between a mental health diagnosis and if it's just a personality thing. And that's the information we gonna get the fuck up out of here. So y'all ready to talk about this bullshit? Yeah? All right, cool. So Cardi deactivated her account this weekend. So Azalea Banks, who is always at the root of shit, Azalea Banks was on the Breakfast Club, and she called Cardi B everything but a child of God. She called her illiterate, an untalented rat. She said that she was a caricature of black women, who lowered the bar for female rappers. And that pissed Cardi the fuck off. Cardi went on Instagram and she basically, said that Azealia Banks get joy out of belittling black women. She says, just because I laugh a little harder and I talk a little louder does not make me a caricature. That is my personality. And basically that's what I do. Cardi got fed up, deactivated her account, for a while and said that she was about to, enjoy her pregnancy. But Cardi was also on the blogs, this weekend because she got into it with an eager fan, who basically looked like they wanted to fight, you know what I mean, on social media. The fan threatened her, and on social media you see Cardi behind the glass and them trying to push her out and Cardi getting all bucked. As you recall, at the Met Gala, there was also another rambunctious fan who wanted an autograph, and, Offset, they're saying Offset, pulled put the hit on and said, yo, get that nigga. And so a bunch of people jumped on the nigga and beat the shit out the nigga.
What you get though? Fuck him. He's a weirdo. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
Like, who asked for autographs in 2018? Fuck out of here, man.
Who asked for autographs in 2018?
From fucking Cardi B. And fucking
was that a shot at Cardi?
Nah,
was that
I'm
a
just
shot
saying,
at
like,
autographs?
If I could get an autograph, it damn sure ain't finna be no fucking Cardi B and or Offset. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Ives. You know what I'm saying? Give him dap or some shit, but a fucking autograph for what? But
yeah, maybe get like a selfie or some
sign
shit.
Their name on that ass.
Not sign their name on that ass. And I'm not quite sure if Offset and Cardi B know how to write. No? Hey, so like, that's the first question is, you talked about autographs. Like, what do we think in regards to fans just being overzealous? Is that something you should just get used to because you are a celebrity, or do you have the right to react?
I mean, you got to react because you, at the end of the day, you're still a human. In my opinion, you're still a human, right? So you still gonna get those trigger points that for your, it's the fight or flight syndrome. You know what I mean? So like, motherfucker gonna keep antagonizing you and agitating you and doing whatever. You gonna come to a head, and you just like a real person. You could have got off the phone with your mama and she could have been in the fucking hospital or some shit. You know what I'm saying? You don't know, never know what a motherfucker going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't, even now, like with road rage and you see people doing all whoop de whoop, like, I try not to have that shit because I don't know where motherfucker coming from. They could have just seen, you know what I'm saying? They coming from a funeral home or anything, you know what I mean? Just got fired from their job. So, I mean, I ain't soft for nothing, but at the same time, like, I ain't finna, you know what I mean? Like, egg nobody on because, like I said, always say, like, you can't, if a motherfucker push you and if you push a motherfucker and they shoot your ass back, you can't be mad because you shouldn't push their ass, you know what I'm saying? So, but going back to that Azealia Banks girl, she weird as shit. You need to psychoanalyze her because she crazy as a damn Dickens, man.
I mean,
we're gonna get to that.
I think she's pretty smart, actually. I think what she's doing is very
Azealia Banks.
Yeah, I think what she's doing is very calculated. I think that is
no doubt.
Very intentional. I think this is typical celebrity marketing as they prepare themselves for album release or whatever. I think this is. I don't think she's crazy. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. My issue with the situation is, where is Cardi B's friends and support system?
Yeah.
Like where are your people? Like, where are the people who are supposed to be protecting you and sheltering you from and guiding you and teaching you about this business? Yeah. Because there is no way at her status level that she should be responding or communicating with anybody about any of this. That's just my opinion. Like, you give people too much power over your own emotions, and you're in the third trimester of your pregnancy.
I ain't lying.
Sit back and relax.
I agree with that. I think that as far as you're not knowing how people gonna react, but I say this about a lot of situations that we talk about on here. As far as celebrities are concerned, your job is the public eye. You know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, you don't have the leeway that a regular person gets as far as reacting all the time, because that impacts your money. Whether it impacts your money where people just like, we don't want to fuck with her because she thinks she too good, or it impacts your money whereas like this guy got beat up because he was in the presence of Offset and Cardi B. That lawsuit coming to Offset and Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? Not those broke motherfuckers in the parking lot that beat his ass. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, I feel like you, as a celebrity, this is part of your job description. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. We work jobs, or me and B Hill work jobs where we have a manager of some sort. So you can't get mad when your manager asks you to do some shit, because that's part of your fucking job. You know what I'm saying? You might not like it, but you know what I mean? It's part of your fucking job. And I feel like that, Cardi is going to have to get used to that. You know what I'm saying? Just period. And I do understand that Cardi came up, these celebrities now are kind of like non-traditional celebrities because she started from Instagram and gained her popularity there. You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that, I would think that Cardi would be more used to it, only because she came up through a platform where people always expressing their fucking opinions.
But
she also got that stripper mentality. Like, think about strippers. You know what I'm saying? Like, strippers is
he about to make a blatant statement about.
No. It's not even that crazy. But just think about all the strippers that you know. Like, I know mad strippers and they love to fight and they just mad, like, aggressive. You know what I mean? Like, strippers always. I mean, in most cases, I know a lot of strippers and a lot of them hoes be fighting and shit. You know what I'm saying? Just so for real, like, they be getting into it in the back, like from Players Club type shit. You know what I'm saying? But for real, like, they are like, you gotta have a different breed. So like, her mindset is a little bit different. Like, so she ain't really and she, I don't know, she just you could tell that she like to fight and she's kind of aggressive personality wise. So that shit just transferred into social media, and she ain't about to have no fuck shit going on. You know what I mean? I could see she would probably be like that in real life.
Her mindset right now is very fragile, though. I mean, that tough posterior and everything, I mean, that's going down completely because she's not handling all the stress and all the negativity well. She can put up that persona that she's tough and all of this, and I'm from the streets, but we're all human and everybody's attacking her. And not everybody, but so many people are attacking her right now, when just a year ago, like, she was like America's, baby. Everybody loved her.
Yeah.
And so she was receiving all this positive energy, but now, I mean, this is the part of fame that hurts people and you have to really develop tough skin with. And she's not handling it well. She's fragile and she's going to have a breakdown if she hasn't had one already, or several, because she keeps responding.
Heavy is the head that holds the crown, man.
Yeah, for sure. And it sucks because like that with that baby shit, Shay, I mean Bone, and how that shit go, like, for real, because like that shit, especially that. Pregnancy ain't no joke. It's a miracle in itself, right? So you have to take like that shit in. Yeah, exactly. It's a miracle. So like you have to like that negative energy and shit, and letting people, cause like the old folks say, like, I remember like when my old lady was having some issues and shit, cause our set of twins were actually premature shit. So like a lot of people would say, like, don't let people stress you out because the baby's gonna end up looking like that or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the old folks say. So like, you got
baby have an old ass stressed out face.
Yeah, and baby come out with gray hair, all looking like it got high blood pressure, all type of shit. So like,
baby look like Bonnie Bella.
I'm not about to do that. I ain't finna do that. Not today. Nope.
Oh, you on your best behavior because Dr. Bone in the house.
Babies is off limits. Babies and fucking.
Hey, babies got faces like everybody else.
But I ain't finna be calling the baby come out
that's
looking
cool.
Like Bonnie Bella.
Bonnie Bella.
I ain't crazy there.
But I mean, all that stress is going to affect your pregnancy and your delivery and everything. I mean, it's just, she is fragile right now, emotionally, mentally. Yeah. She's not stable.
I'd check out, like, if I was Offset, I'd be like, hey, look, you got to sit your ass
social media. Down. Start responding to these people. You are making your money. You are doing what you set out to do. You don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, he got to step in as a man. Like, I'm so glad I ain't got to deal with no stupid shit like that. But like, as a man, you got to be like, fuck that. Cause at the end of the day, like, that's your baby too. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's not even, I mean, that her health is in jeopardy too. You know what I'm saying? It's waning in the balance because of the fact that having a baby is some, God bless y'all.
Yeah, but you got to take into consideration that, first of all, both of them are super young. They like 25 and 26. Yeah. And Offset got like 3 other kids. He should be a pro at this shit by now. And he not. He's still doing nigga shit.
And that's what I mean about, like, where's her support system? Like, where are the people around her that are saying, like, take your phone. Like, shut this down. If you're taking a social media hiatus, like, do that. Take a hiatus. Like, stay off of that. You're responding to people in their DMs. You're coming back on Twitter. No, you're a millionaire now. This is pointless.
Yeah. You got to roll a little bit different. Have people do fuck that shit. Let somebody run your Instagram. If you're gonna post some shit about new videos, whoop de whoop. It's promotional shit. But as far as
I think the hard part probably for Cardi is because the reason I feel like a huge chunk of the reason why Cardi is so successful is because we fell in love with Cardi's personality. For sure. You know what I'm saying? So her personality is a big part of her brand. So she probably feels compelled to keep that shit going because that is the thing that separates the Cardi from the Nicki, right? Or other female rappers. And I'm not trying to say this to pit female rappers against each other. I'm just saying what makes Cardi, right? So Cardi probably feels like she has to keep this social media shit. And part of the reason we like Cardi too is that she will pop off. However, right now you in a fragile state. So you have to let the brand go for a little while and hope that you can recover after you have this baby, because you knew you were pregnant. You know what I mean? Or else you would have gotten an abortion.
But I continue with your career. I followed her from day one, and so what I liked the most about her was that you saw all sides of her. You saw the vulnerable side, you saw the transparent side. She was authentic. You saw her cry on social media. You saw her break down when everybody talked about her teeth or when things were like really affecting her. People were really going in about that part of her. So you saw all of that. But now with you being like almost 9 months pregnant and you're so fragile, baby girl, you got to take a step back. Like, you got to let this go.
Yeah.
This is not about keeping up with a persona anymore. This is about you taking care of yourself and the life that you are carrying.
I tell you what, when that baby drop, and that nigga be crying, or little girl be crying and be hungry and all that shit, you ain't gonna fuck about that goddamn phone and what the fuck motherfuckers got to say, because that shit is gonna take over your life completely. You would hope so, because that shit is a whole different ball game. Like that, hopefully it makes her realize, like, boom, I don't know what the fuck I was even giving that shit so much attention because of this child. Because the child is gonna require so much of your attention, regardless if you're a millionaire or not. Like, you gonna that shit is gonna take a whole lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Hope and pray she has an epiphany and pulls it together when this baby comes. Because
what's next on the docket?
And Cardi, FYI, Cardi is having a girl. I think that was official news from social media. So you'll have Cardi Jr. Hopefully. She won't be at Sue's. Little Belcalis Jr. BJ. Belky Bartakbus. So Cardi B deactivating her Instagram account is litter shit.
It's lit if she stay off that motherfucker.
Yeah, I think it's lit too if she stay off. What you think, Dr. Bond?
I agree.
Yeah, lit. All right. Next on the docket. So while recording Red Table Convos, Willow Smith revealed that, she feel like she lost her sanity. She states after Whip My Hair, that's the name of the song. She went to a really dark place. She said she was listening to dark music and she felt really, really empty. So she started cutting herself. Jada Pinkett, her mom, and her grandmother said that they never knew anything about this shit. And she was like 10 years old when this shit was going on. So that's super fucking young. Like, first of all, I want to know from Dr. Bone, can you give us some insight on like cutters?
Yeah.
If you know about cutters, why do that?
So
self-mutilation.
So let me say first that cutters, they don't want to take their life. They are trying to deflect the pain that they feel emotionally somewhere else. So if I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling like I'm in a dark place. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling anxious. I don't feel like anybody's listening to me, and my parents don't love me. Then I'll just kind of deflect my thoughts away and kind of put slits in my arm. I'm not trying to put slits in my arm to take my life, but it's more so to kind of deflect pain from one source of my mind into my body. And so they're not, most of the time they're not suicidal, but, and most of the time the parents don't know, because what I found strange about Willow Smith's situation was that those parents, they were like they were helicopter parents. They were like, they went to a special, Scientology school, and the kids had all this independence and, all this freedom and all this moral support. So I was, surprised that they were not aware or were not checking in with them more so about their emotional well-being. But it's just a way for them to kind of deflect away from the pain they feel emotionally. Some do it on their legs. They do it on their sides of their stomach. But they never try to take their lives when they do that. It's more so about kind of deflecting pain away.
One of the interesting things that Jada brought up, Willow said that everything that was going on outwardly, she's rich, she got everything going on, but on the inside, she said that she was feeling empty. You know what I mean? So she needed something to reflect on the outside.
She needed to feel something. She wasn't feeling anything. Yeah. But she can feel that pain. She can feel the pain from cutting or scratching, hair pulling. They can feel that because it's a physical pain.
Is it any signs? Like, is it any signs? Like, as a parent, like you two have parents. We all have parents. You two have children. Like, is it anything you should look for besides the actual cuts? Like, what would be your advice for like signs or whatever for a parent?
So my son is overly therapized because this is, his mom is a clinical therapist, but I would pay attention to like how they're sleeping. Are they sleeping more or less? Are they eating more or less? They're not hanging out with their friends? They don't want to be bothered. They're irritated. Most of the time when kids are depressed.
That sounds like a teenager to me.
I mean, but is it overly? You were a teenager yourself, so you know when something is excessive. But parents always confuse, kids acting out with depression. So when we're depressed, we're sad, we mope around, we lay in the bed, we cry. Kids are like aggressive. They're going to cuss you out. They're agitated. They're angry. They don't really show depression the way we do. And those are things that I would look for with my kid. Like, is he just overly irritated and frustrated all the time? Is his patience too short? He doesn't want to go outside. He doesn't want to play his sports. He doesn't want to do things that he usually does, that he enjoys. Those are things that you have to pay attention for in your kids. And usually those things are there, but you're so consumed with the attitude that you don't pay attention to what else is going on.
Yeah. Yeah. You just think they smelling it.
You got a bad attitude. You talking back too much, when it's more like, you know what? He wasn't doing this 3 months ago. Something's changed in my child that he's so snappy with me right now.
So I guess like in terms of, so what about more so is that about, could it be just puberty, right? So like, I mean, obviously they'll have social influences due to school, but like going through puberty, your body's changing, your thoughts are changing, your girls are getting titties and boys are getting hair on their meat and shit, like for real, you know what I'm saying? So like,
he started that off so good, right?
So what is it? I guess what's the difference in, could it just be puberty and that they're changing physically? And does that coincide with emotionally? Because it's been a while since I've been a teenager, but I would imagine, I remember like 13 was a very pivotal age for me, because when I started learning, like when I smell weed and shit, like, oh, that's what mom and daddy was smoking. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Like shit it was kind of like an awakening period. You know what I'm saying? Like I was starting to like understand, like when I hear rap songs or hear, R&B songs that we heard, coming all the way up and they talking about sex. So like, is it more like an awakening, or is it kind of like, I guess, how could you delineate between the two?
I mean, I think it's a little bit of both, but the difference between, you were probably a well-adjusted kid, so you adjusted to all those changes normally. Some kids just don't handle it well. They don't handle, all the changes and all the hormone imbalances well. And those are the kids who end up, going into dark places and becoming depressed because they don't, and they may not be in environments where they feel comfortable talking about it, because they don't even know what to talk about. I don't even know what's going on with me, and they don't feel comfortable sharing talking to their parents. And then, our community is just so taboo. It's not encouraged to talk about your feelings, especially for young men.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. That's is
hard.
true. So if a parent suspect that their child may be into this type of behavior, what would you recommend be like the first thing they should do?
I mean, I recommend talking to your child, number one, and creating an open conversation so that they don't feel like they're being attacked. But I mean, seek help for them. Get a counselor or a therapist lined up. I mean,
So let me ask you this. A lot of people say, all right, so I know mental health is covered under a lot of insurances, but say, for example, if you don't have insurance, is mental health or, therapy sessions, are they typically expensive? And like, what do they range from? Like, say for just, with benefits versus not having benefits. Like,
so I disagree. So now, in 2018, mental health falls under the physical health umbrella. So like if you go see your doctor for a checkup or you got a cold, you may have a $20 copay. That's your insurance plan.
Right.
The same thing if you were to come to my office to, if you were feeling some anxiety or depression, it would be the same thing. Back in the day, it was a separate umbrella. Mental health wasn't seen
now
as
it's one of the
a major part
essential
of
benefits,
a major part of your overall health care. But now it's inclusive, which it should have been. If you break your arm, you go to the doctor.
Thank Obama. That's part of Obamacare, ACF.
Yeah, if you break your arm, you go to the doctor. If you're feeling sad, you should be able to do the same thing. If you're not feeling like yourself, if you have anxiety attacks or panic attacks, you should be able to go see a doctor without it having to be some special authorization for it. So now it is covered under comprehensive health care, which is a good thing.
Yep.
Oh, shut up. I ain't know that.
It is now. So rates vary from provider, just depending on the type of services that are out there. And I would say the range is from $70 to $190 per session. But most of it's covered under your primary health care insurance, which is amazing.
But mental health is priceless.
Physical health is priceless. You gotta
come up with that bread. Because the same way you come up with that money for your kid to get them Jordans, you can come up with that money. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like, shit costs money. And if you got 4 or 5 kids, it might be hard for you to deal with this one. But, it is what it is.
More specifically, like for, I guess my question was more so geared to people that don't have, say, for example, health insurance or even.
Kids are covered, though. Kids should be covered.
But what I'm saying is.
Well, if the parent doesn't have insurance, the child is not going to have insurance. Is that what you're saying, B?
Yeah, like, so for example, like if they don't, or if they do most mental health providers take Medicaid and Health Choice and different, like lower income? Cool.
I spent a great number of years working only with Medicaid and low socioeconomic status clients and families who couldn't even come to the office. Like we had to go do all the mental health work in the home.
Oh wow! So it's kind of like social work and mental health. Like
it was, and I tell people all the time that when you go out to one of these homes and the kids don't have lights or food, you got to deal with that before you can even deal with like them being depressed or having ADHD or something like that. You got to. I spent time buying pizzas and groceries and helping out with crisis calls for light bills and utilities because you got to meet basic needs before you can even meet physical and mental health needs. You have to. You can't go to somebody's house and start talking about, let's talk about your feelings and you're sitting in the dark. Like it's just not happening. And
that's real. That's real as
fuck.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sitting in the dark. I can't fuck.
Right.
Yeah. That's how I'm feeling. Yeah. That's dope.
And so you had those workers who were like that, who were like, well, I mean, I can't do anything about it. I mean, you can do something about it. You really just can't come to somebody's house and they have all these struggles and want them to tell you their whole life story.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
My office doesn't turn anybody away. Whether you have insurance or not, we work with everybody. So
that's dope.
Shout out to Dr. Bone.
Yeah,
Willow Smith in this whole situation is lit or shit. I'm gonna go lit only because she was in it and she made it through and on the other side. And I think that this Red Table series is great. I watched both episodes of it, and I think that it's a great series. So I'm gonna give it a lit. What y'all giving it?
Yeah, I agree. I give it a lit because she came through it. She might have been depressed because she doesn't look as good as her mom or her grandmother.
She will never look that good.
That's
but we're not gonna put her back into any type of way. What you say, Dr. Bone?
I'm gonna say lit too, just because it's Mental Health Awareness Month and she's talking about it, and that's one of our themes. Let's talk about what's going on. Let's talk about it.
All right, cool. The next story that I have is about Instagram or social media viral star Lil Tay. So for y'all who don't know who Lil Tay is a 9-year-old Asian little girl. She's a 9-year-old. She's Asian and she's always on social media talking shit. She usually have a bankroll of money, talking shit, cussing, doing all that shit. She's known for being foul-mouthed, having a lot of money, and she's the youngest. She calls herself the youngest flexer of the century. She's 9 years old, people. I want y'all to take that into consideration. She's 9 years old. Well, this week her mom was fired from her job as a real estate agent because, come to find out, little Tay doesn't have any of this money that she talks about. She actually uses her mom lets her shoot these videos in the houses that she's trying to sell, these multi-million-dollar houses that her mom sells. So her mom actually got fired this week. And how she got fired was because a guy who owns one of the houses saw his house in one of the videos that little Tay was in. And so it's caused this whole social media stir about little Tay. Now, my question, and the reason why I particularly picked this particular subject, is because I feel like with Instagram stars like little Tay and the Catch Me Outside girl who's only like 14 or 15 years old, I wanted to talk to Dr. Bone about how is social media impacting our children to go viral and become stars, and have you seen any of that come through your office?
I haven't seen any of that come through my office personally, but I think it's really damaging, like, kids in a major way. It really is. Especially parents who let these kids have these accounts at, like, you said this child is 9?
Yeah, she's 9 years old.
Like, what is she doing with a social media account?
She 9? I thought she was about 15 or something.
No, she 9. No, she 9. She just be rapping. She have big wads of money. She just talk big shit. She cussing. Like, she doing all that shit. Like, she a mess.
Growth. I mean, you're already developing. You're already trying to grow emotionally.
Yeah.
And I just think it stunts that emotional development and growth. And you're put in front of this huge audience of people. We don't know who you really are anymore. You don't know who you are anymore.
Mm-hmm. I was about to say, yeah, they get lost in their own shit. Your little boy got an Instagram or any type of social media?
He has Musical.ly, where he makes his little video.
They all got Musical.ly.
Where he makes his little video. My son is so not into that stuff at all. Thank goodness. He's not. He has a social Instagram account that I manage only because it's for basketball, for people to kind of check him out and see what he's doing in the circuit. But that's it.
Yeah. Get money.
We're trying to pay for this college education out here.
Hell yeah.
Dr. Bone got the bread. You could just write a check, man. Write a check. Free is always better, though.
Hell yeah. Use these white folks' money. Fuck that shit.
But it sets them up for all types of, it makes them victims. You don't know who's out there trying to prey on your kids and stuff.
Word.
Especially girls,
out
there dressing all inappropriately and bodies exposed. You don't know who's out there preying on your children.
And the thing that pisses me off, especially like in regards to like the Catch Me Outside girl, like you got Atlantic giving her record deals. You got all of these other grown-ass people supporting this type of behavior. I'm a child. Why should I think that is wrong if I'm getting money off this type of shit? If I'm getting money off of cussing people out and acting like a hoe, and you 15 years old and you got a boob job. Like, who authorized that? Really? Like, why is that okay? Yeah. Like,
the parents are authorizing it because it's a quick fast paycheck for
cash
them.
cow. They trying to hit a lick.
It's a quick fast paycheck. I mean, what the little boy who had on the monkey sweater, remember him?
Yeah, the H&M, coolest monkey in the jungle.
Coolest little monkey in the jungle. So, that mom didn't think twice about getting that check. And she also didn't think about the impact that it was going to have on her child. But other little
exactly. So let's flip that. What is it with the mental health of the parents? Like, what do you have to say to these parents, and why are you willing to sell your kid's soul for a paycheck?
Right, that's what I was going to say. Stop selling your kids out for money. I mean, we model everything for our kids. So what type of adult are they going to become if they see that you've used them to drive some cash cow for yourself?
Yeah.
Stop selling your kids. Stop selling your kids out for money, because it's just going to damage them. Look at what happens to child stars who go through the process the right way when they become adults.
It's true.
Look at what happens to them.
Look at your Raven-Symones, Orlando Browns, all these people. Michael Jackson.
So look at what happens to kids who are not pimped out in such an aggressive way. Look at what happens to them. So when you pimp your kid out intentionally and aggressively, you're just damaging them. You're making them a damaged adult at some point.
Yeah, y'all stop that shit.
Then I got to deal with it. Then I got to deal with little Kanye's in my office and stuff. So,
I mean, little Kanye's in your office bring you a paycheck, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure she'd rather
I'm not saying that you advocating for little Kanye's. Yeah, you'd rather not. So Lil Tay, that's litter shit.
Man, fuck that shit.
Shit. I'm gonna go with shit.
See, the thing about it, like, my little girl gonna have to go to school with your little crazy ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna be all in school being crazy as fuck. You know what I mean? Like, and making my little impression of a little baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, Lil Tay was doing that. Fuck that shit. I beat your ass. You fucking do that Lil Tay shit.
Beat your ass. So, Dr. Bone, you going with litter shit?
Ish.
I bet. We still in litter shit, but I want to go like a little bit faster as far as certain celebrities that I need Dr. Bone's diagnosis on. But before I get into this, I want to know, Dr. Bone, what is the difference between somebody having some type of mental health diagnosis versus this is just a personality quirk? This is just who they are. Like, what is the line? If I'm looking at my friend, I think this bitch act crazy. How do I know if it's just her or if it's a little bit deeper than that?
I mean, you don't know. That's why we have mental health professionals. But if you have a friend who you think is really going through something, help her get some help. Help her find somebody to talk to. I mean, we all are unique in how we're made up. Somebody might think I'm crazy.
Right.
You guys have a hard time dealing with me because I'm an alpha female and I'm pretty direct in how I speak to people. Or pretty passionate about how.
Drop step.
Or I'm assertive and everybody can't handle that. But that might be about you, not about your friend. So when you ask
as a therapist, are you able to diagnose yourself? Would you know if you had some issues?
I would. I would, definitely. I mean, I can diagnose all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? At some point. But I definitely am aware of my own.
So are you saying that everybody has a diagnosis? Is that what you're
we all have characteristics of a diagnosis for sure. And we all might have characteristics of multiple diagnoses. But we might not all meet the criteria for a specific one. I think we all have a little bit of everything. I mean, we all go through depression. We all go through anxiety moments. We all go through mood swings at some point or another. We all go through dark times. We all go through times where we're feeling extra elevated and even manic sometimes, where we're planning all the time and we're being excessive about some things. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have a full-blown diagnosis.
So it's the difference between a diagnosis and just your personality and you being human. What is the difference? Is it a time thing? Like if you're constantly in that state,
there is a time frame. So when we're looking at a mental health diagnosis, we use a manual, and it gives specific criteria that if somebody, for example, if if you're experiencing depression, there's 8 criteria. If you meet 6 out of the 8 over, let's say, 6 to 12 months, that period of time, then we would diagnose you with depression. So there is a specific criteria that has to be met, and there's a specific time limit that you have to have been presenting all these symptoms. So you can't come here and say, I have anxiety because you had a bad weekend. You have to have persistent symptoms for, a certain period of time, and it's based on each specific diagnosis.
Gotcha. So, B Hill and I used to work in health insurance, and part of my job in that organization, and this was prior to Obamacare, ACA, is that we would do risk assessments, right? So someone would say, fill out their application, you give them a certain rate, right? And then the bills start coming in, and you see that, hey, this person used to take this particular medicine for depression or anxiety or whatever the case may be. And then you will have to rate them higher, right? So the debate that we would get into those meetings all of the time was, well, this person had a death in their family. Their mother died. Of course, they're supposed to go through these emotions. And as an insurance company, they like, we don't give a shit, rate them higher. You need to give us an extra $50 a month because you went through this phase in your life. So one of the things that, I was happy about as far as ACA and Obamacare was that they got rid of risk ratings, and they did like a community risk rating, type thing, because, people go through things. Like you said, it's life. You go through things. If your mama died, you're gonna be sad. And sometimes you might need a medication, to help you with that.
But that's a single episode. And so when we talking about diagnosis, we rate people based on, is this a single episode? Is this a recurrent episode? Is it a psychotic episode? Are they, are there additional things going on? So, and then we have even less extensive diagnosis like bereavement that we have now, when we didn't have that before. Instead of saying somebody has major depression, we're saying we can use a code titled bereavement, which shows that this is specifically related to this person experiencing a loss in their life. And loss doesn't always apply to, a death. It can apply to, like, you lost your job. I mean, people grieve their job. They grieve their homes. I lost this relationship. So we can classify it as all of those things now too. But I'm glad they took that away, because when we do assessments for people, diagnostic assessments, we look at past experiences, but we also focus on, like, what are you presenting currently today? And so you may be having depression, taking depression medication just to kind of manage what you're going through, but you may not have had a depression episode in a year because you're taking your medication consistently. So I'm glad they took that away, because it's not fair. But that's what insurance companies do all the time.
I agree, because it's all about making money. You know what I mean?
Or saving money,
let's
too.
go. True. Let's go through a quick set of celebrities, and I want you to let us know if there is a potential diagnosis there, or it's just them basically, living life. And I think the biggest person on the docket, because I feel like it's a lot going on with celebrities and us questioning their mental physics. So Kanye West, he's done all these tweets, a lot of outbursts. He seems to be disconnected from reality. He's saying a lot of things. Everybody's kind of giving him a pass because his mom died a while ago, but we've all experienced loss. What is your spiel about Kanye West, and as far as the way that he's acting? Is that just regular, or is there a diagnosis there?
So I'm not treating Kanye West, but somebody should be. First of all, let me say that. Somebody should be treating him. I think he's always been this type of person who does these outrageous things, right? For a very long time. he married his demigod. This is a woman who he worshipped excessively. I remember when I did used to watch Demigod. I used to watch trashy TV, and that was one of the shows I used to watch. And I remember when Kim was with the basketball player guy, and Kanye was her friend.
Humphries.
And he was so obsessed with her, and when she was engaged to somebody else, and so he finally, he got his demigod. He worships this person and this is who he kind of centers his whole life around. So that definitely changed him. But I think women change and guide men in general, right? This just happened to be guidance for the worse. She's not being his rock right now in a positive way. So if I had to diagnose Kanye, I would say that he never recovered from the loss of his mother. And I say that because he tried to deflect and put blame on everybody else instead of just kind of accepting the fact that she's no longer here. He never got to that stage of, grieving process has 5 stages. He never got to the last stage of acceptance and moving on. He hasn't moved on still from that. He has some schizophrenic episodes because his reality is just not our reality, is it? It's just not.
Wow.
He's living in his own reality, and anybody who can sit up here and make comments about slavery in the way that he has made, and knowing that this was such a significant impact on the Black culture is out of touch with reality, in my opinion, completely. And once again, where's his support system? Where are the people around him who should be guiding him and getting him the help that he needs? Going back to him not coping with his mother's death. He never grieved that process in a healthy manner, and that's where he stunted his growth emotionally, in my opinion.
So that was that was definitely the point where, cause like you said, Kanye has always exhibited Kanye-isms.
He has.
But the mother was kind of like the breaking point from reality.
That was his breaking
point. You're saying.
That was his breaking point.
So are we saying schizophrenia? As it would, based on what we know that you're not treating Kanye West, but based on what you see, would the diagnosis be schizophrenia?
It would be major depression. Schizophrenia would only be if I knew for sure if he was hearing voices or somebody else was actually guiding his thoughts for him. But he is out of touch with reality, and I think that he's so far deep in his depression that his reality isn't what's really happening in the world right now anymore. And there's this blockage there that he refuses to get past.
So what about Kim? Like, is Kim just not, when you get married, you guys are kind of together, right? And do you feel like Kim is doing her part, or she's kind of letting that shit fester? Because it seemed like she kind of lets him do whatever he wants to do.
From what we see, I don't think she's being the support that he needs to get through his emotional breakdown. I don't think that it's there. I mean,
there is no
this family.
There's no timeline on that, right?
Hmm?
There's no timeline on that, right? So this could go on until infinity. So Kanye did an interview. He said he does not speak to a therapist. He just speaks to the people who know him, basically. So, like, what would be your suggestion to Kim to get her husband help, or to Kanye himself?
That he seeks,
from your professional opinion,
help with a true professional, someone who is not going to just tell him what he wants to hear, because that's what's happening right now. He needs somebody.
Would you recommend they do like family counseling together? I would think they would need to do it together.
He needs individual. So anytime you want to do family therapy, when somebody is so far gone like Kanye, you want them to address their individual issues first before being in a family setting or a couple setting. You want him to focus on. I mean, I just think that he stunted his growth emotionally when his mom passed away, and we all understand how difficult that would be for anybody. But for him, I just think he's stuck in like a shock and denial stage of the grieving process that he just cannot get past.
I agree. What's the difference between a narcissist versus a person with confidence?
So a narcissist, and I know one very well, is somebody who not only is so self-absorbed, everything is centered around them, but they also want to make other people feel less
inferior.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So I can have confidence and feel good about myself, but if I'm a narcissist, I'm going to try to always shine my light on me. And by doing so, I'm going to make sure that the light is dim on you. I'm going to put you down.
Gotcha.
I'm going to make sure that in putting you down is uplifting me, that the target and the goal is for me to always be presented in the best light. And if I have to step on your shoes to do that, I have no problem with doing that. And I don't treat narcissists.
So you don't treat narcissists?
I don't.
Gotcha. So on that same road, what about Donald Trump? Donald Trump doesn't seem mentally fit. He says whatever, he does whatever, and I'm not licensed at all to make a diagnosis, but he seems like he would fit.
Donald Trump would definitely fit into the category of a narcissistic personality disorder. He has a grandiose attitude. He doesn't care about belittling other people. He belittled people that were mentally retarded. And he did it on national TV. He does not care about making anybody else look bad to make himself look better. He doesn't care about the well-being of other people. He's a male chauvinist, and he's very pompous. He meets textbook criteria for narcissist personality.
Really?
Personality disorder. He does every single criteria.
Is there any type of medicine that would work towards like circumventing narcissism, or is it that's just a personality trait?
No. So there's no medication to treat narcissism, and all personality disorders. There are two axes that we have for mental health disorders, 1 and 2. On axis 1, you have things like anxiety, depression, common mental health diagnosis. On axis 2, you have personality disorders like narcissism, borderline, schizophrenic, schizoid, and those are the most difficult to treat because there isn't a certain therapeutic approach that has been shown to be effective with people who have those type of personality disorders. They're very hard. If I get referrals for personality disorders like borderline or narcissism, I usually refer them out because they're just really difficult to treat.
Wow. So you need to kind of be specialized
really accept
in that.
This is what I have and this is who I am. You can't, and most of the time they're not willing to do that.
Let me ask you this, and this is a bit off topic, but you hear people talk all day, right? Like, because my old lady thought about being like a mental health, a fucking substance abuse counselor or whatnot, but she was just like, I got my own shit to deal with. So who do you talk to? Who does the therapist get therapy from?
My therapist.
From other therapists?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. I have a therapist.
Therapists always have a therapist, right? I hear that from therapists. They always have a therapist.
You have to. I mean, I'm for the notion that everybody should have a therapist, even if you just see them a couple times a year, just to kind of bounce some things off of, or sometimes we talk to our spouses and our friends and our families, and it's not always the best decision because people are biased, and whether they're biased in a way that they're gonna agree with you when they shouldn't, or not be open-minded because they know so much about you. So when friends say, I want to come see you for therapy, I'm like, I know way too much of your business, to be non-biased with you. So you need to see somebody who doesn't have a personal relationship with you, so you can really get a true non-biased outlook on what's going on.
That makes sense. So Donald Trump, he's an older man. I've seen a lot of things on the news as far as Donald Trump and other people in Congress, however, aging and possibly, having dementia and things like that. What's the difference between something like dementia where you can possibly get it when you get older in age versus other mental health conditions like bipolar or whatever?
The biggest thing about dementia is that there really isn't a cure for dementia. And dementia is an issue that affects your cognitive functioning. So people who, you say somebody has early signs of dementia when they have the memory loss, that's something that's never going to get better. But with mental illness, and that's just, we haven't developed any kind of scientific methods to cure dementia right now. And I think those type of issues affect families the most because at some point your loved one is not going to remember who you are at some point.
Yeah.
And then they're difficult. So when you're living with a stranger and the stranger feels like you're a stranger, it's really hard to kind of get through that. But with mental illness, those bipolar, depression, anxiety, those are things that you can treat and deal with whether it's medication, whether it's individual therapy or group therapy. Those are things that you can treat and go into remission with.
Gotcha. So with a person like Donald Trump, we talked about narcissism. We talked about, others saying that he may have dementia or something where he just don't give a fuck about what he say. Is there any other, diagnosis that you would give Donald Trump, or he just an asshole?
Well, I haven't heard the dementia comments about him because dementia is more of a memory loss, and I just think he completely doesn't have a filter, and he just not give a f at all. He just doesn't care. I'm in a position of power. That's that whole white man in power. That's something that was, I think, that was passed down to him from his father and from his father's father and from his father's father. So that's something that he inherited, and you just really can't change or adjust generations and generations of racism
and privilege.
Gotcha. You can't erase that. Donald Trump, people talk about him all the time like he made all this money. He came into money.
Right.
He came into
he said he got a small loan for $1 million.
He came into generated wealth. And so with that, he developed that attitude of privilege that he's always had. In terms of other diagnoses, I mean, what I know he meets dead on is narcissist personality disorder. Dead on. Every single bullet point for him is there with that.
So another celebrity that has caused us to pause a little bit has been Bow Wow, Little Bow Wow. Well, I personally feel like Bow Wow has had an issue ever since he became grown and nobody really took him as grown. Cause he was a child star and he's like 5 feet even and nobody really takes him seriously. But more recently, he's been posting a lot of things, saying he don't want to be here. He's done so much stunting around the world that it ain't shit else to do. So he might as well die. He's constantly posting cryptic messages on Instagram. And he's named his album Suicide. So like my question to you is there any type of mental health issue here or is this like publicity stunts from what you know?
I think it's a little bit of both. So I have been paying attention to him the last few years. And number one, he's one of those child stars who struggled with the transition, right? He really did. And not because he struggled personally at first, but because we didn't accept him transitioning into adulthood. We wanted him to stay and remain Little Bow Wow. His fan base was little girls, remember? So those little girls grew up and, they got over Little Bow Wow and probably never saw him and got over it. Probably never saw him as a man. But I watched him go through these ways.
Found other men that they found.
Right. Real men.
I watch him go through these waves of like depression and mania, right? Because, some days he's really dark, he's down, he's talking about not wanting to be here. Then other days it's like my mixtape's coming down, I got all this energy, I'm doing all these things. So, and that's what bipolar disorder is that you have those two, levels of depression and mania. And so he's been exhibiting a little bit of both, and he's been doing so over a period of time that does meet criteria. If he was being diagnosed based solely off of what we see in the public eye. We see the manic side of him, the side that it's like, I'm doing all these great things, I'm doing this and that, and we see the side of him that's in a really dark place. And so if I had to make a guess regarding what he's experiencing right now, it would be that.
It would be bipolar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he struggles, to me, he struggles with both levels. He's up and down there. He can go weeks being in this place where he's making all these posts and rants and going on, and then he comes back again, and it's like, what's going on? You were just making all these plans and getting ready for your record release. So and people who are bipolar, they go through that. They go through those waves of feeling good, feeling high, feeling elevated, and then it's like, what happened? And I think that's why family members really struggle with those people, because it's like, well, you were just fine 2 weeks ago. But that's part of the mental illness, is that you go through those waves consistently.
That makes sense. Let's move on to a female really quick that I really want to know. So Blac Chyna. Blac Chyna is a very interesting character to me, because Blac Chyna came up, she was a stripper, she got all this fame, she got pregnant by one of the guys in the most famous family, in pop culture right now. So she has money, she has fame, but it seems like she's constantly dating a new guy. She's constantly changing her body, augmenting her body. She's possibly pregnant by an 18-year-old guy who looks 12. So he's not even like a grown looking 18-year-old. He looks 12. She's 29, 30 years old. Blac Chyna is interesting to me because I'm like, you have money, you have fame, because I know that the attention is the drug nowadays. What would you say to a Blac Chyna that comes into your office? And also, based on the bipolar thing that you talked about, Jennifer Lewis, who was on Breakfast Club earlier today, and I listened to her book on Audible. She's bipolar and she acted out sexually. So I want to know, like, what do you think about Blac Chyna? Is there anything there, or is she just a hoe?
I just think Blac Chyna is just a hoe. I mean, I really, I really can't even think of anything that she fits into a box for. I just think she's like a glorified prostitute, and she enjoys.
She might got a little PTSD though, because her mama crazy as a damn as.
I don't know that background, too. But I think that she definitely enjoys the attention, the fame. Yeah. Whatever's gonna, help me continue to increase my bank account, if dating Rob Kardashian. I mean, we all know that was a money move. Like, and having that baby was the ultimate money move.
And we gave her props for that. And then after that, she left the nigga with the money and went to these lower level young guys
the money is there, because, those Kardashians are constantly generating wealth. That's why they keep having all these children. You know what I'm saying? They encourage that, it's time to have another baby, because we want to continue to generate this wealth for generation to generation. So this is beyond the Kardashian children right now. This is about, okay, we now have about 8 or 9 children, the next generation, who are gonna inherit all this wealth. And so she's a part of that. So she did exactly what she needed to do to make sure that she was grounded in securing that baby's future as well as her own financially. Yeah. She's set. She's set. That grandmother is not going to not make sure that that child isn't set like the rest of those grandchildren. Kris Jenner.
So there has to be some type of trauma there, right? For you, I feel like for you to be, and of course we can only go by what we see. We don't know Blac Chyna. We don't sit down with Blac Chyna. But, like, there has to be some trauma there for you to be the biggest hoe that you are.
Because you probably bigger hoes than Blac Chyna out here.
I mean, but publicly, who portrays herself as a hoe, I think she's one of the top ones. Because
Kim is up there too.
She always in relationships though. You know what I'm saying?
Like 2 months ain't relationships, my nigga. Like,
I'm still
it's not like she in long, fruitful relationships. She's with niggas who are up and coming. They have albums coming out or
so
whatever.
To me, it's strategic. This is not, just basic hoeing. This is strategic hoeing, right? This is like, okay, so I'm trying to find somebody who, this guy may not have a lot of money, but he's somebody who's going to garnish a lot of attention right now. And when he gets that attention and I'm right here by his side, even if he looks 12 years old, this also does something for my brand as well. I mean, I think this is very strategic what she's doing.
Listen, I don't want to give Blac Chyna that much credit, because she could have stayed with Rob and had all the attention that she wanted just because he's a Kardashian.
She couldn't
Rich the
wake
Kid
up to
or
him
a
every day.
NBA black boy. That ain't gonna give you Kardashian level attention. So if you want,
I don't think he was cute enough for her. I don't think that physically this was something that she could endure for a long period of time. And that's because she is very promiscuous. And Rob was also somebody who I think that has some mental health issues, right? And she didn't want to deal with that. I mean, from what we saw on the reality show,
it was too much work.
He was a lot of work for her.
Got you.
He was a lot of work for her.
But see, you take like situations where she fuck with a Future, he fuck her one day, she get his name tattooed on her, he diss her, now she in the shop getting the tattoo removed. That tells me that I don't have a degree in what you have a degree in, but it seemed like you looking for something. Like you with a nigga, he fuck you, you get a tattoo of him on you. And all y'all did was shoot a video together, and Future moved on to the next bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like you searching for something.
Maybe she thought this was going to lead to more than what it did. I still think that she strategically plans to make moves off of these men that she deals with. It might not always pan out that way for her, but I think that there's a foundation in what can I get out of this situation.
Yeah. That makes sense.
But I still just think she's a hoe. That's just
her professional diagnosis is hoe. She's a fucking cum dumpster. All right. So last but not least, I want to talk about, and I'll talk about these two predators together. R. Kelly, Bill Cosby. The shit that they've done and the shit that they do is pedophilia. And being a sexual predator, is that a mental health condition or a preference? I'm not sure if I worded that right, but you see where I'm going with that.
So we definitely have codes for pedophilia and for sexual abuse of another person. So
gotcha.
Definitely, I work with people who have sexual disorders and dysfunctions. Pornography addictions and things like that. So there's definitely a whole umbrella of people who have issues related to sexual dysfunction. Bill Cosby, I mean, it was a long time coming. It was a long time coming.
He's been doing it a long time.
It was a long time coming. And R. Kelly, I just told my mom this the other day. I said it's coming. He's up next. He's on the chopping board. He got away with this for a very, very long time, going back from what we know as far back as Aaliyah.
Yeah.
He got away with this for a very long time. I'm a feminist.
20 years.
I'm also a victim of sexual violence, and so it's been a long time coming, and he's going to get what he deserves. It's going to catch up to him.
So when you have people like R. Kelly and you have people like Bill Cosby who have been doing these things that they're doing for years, and like Bill Cosby had this holier than thou attitude, knowing that he was a fucked up individual. You have R. Kelly, who was his activities were made public 20 years ago, but he continues to do the same thing. Is that a personality thing, or is that because of the fame that makes you feel like you're untouchable with the things that you do? Or is that common?
I think Bill Cosby had low self-esteem. I think that he really struggled with low self-esteem in terms of how he physically came off to women, which is why I think he drugged so many women. For him to be such a high-profile celebrity and to not have women willing to have sex with him, that he had to drug them, I think that says a lot about his own insecurities.
And he said that he don't really like intercourse. He like all that other weird shit he was doing.
Right. So he had a fetish.
Licking toes and shit.
He had a lot of fetishes, and so he wanted women to be completely submissive to him, and the only way that could happen with his mom was to make sure they were drugged. But I think that said a lot about his self-concept and his own self-esteem. when we look at like, serial killers and serial rapists and things like that, these are some of like the most insecure and weak men. And so, women usually aren't attracted to them. They usually don't have, they usually are awkward in relationships, and they end up taking advantage of women in a way where they have complete control. And that's what Bill Cosby did.
Wow.
It's weird. That shit crazy, because I remember I did like a think piece on like Ted Bundy when I was in high school and shit.
Ted Bundy was the one.
He was opposite though, like, cause he was actually attractive. He was like naturally able to get women. So he didn't drug them, obviously. He just was like, they were naturally attracted to him. He would kill the fuck out of them because he was.
Kill the fuck out of them. And he raped them afterwards. He was a necrophiliac.
So there was something about, something about them, him still being dominant over them.
Yeah.
So it still leads to an insecurity thing?
Yeah, for sure.
I think with him with Ted Bundy it was more about being empowered.
I watched the Ted Bundy movie or whatever, and he actually had a girlfriend, and she said that she never knew. But the crazy thing about it was, she said when they used to have sex, he would want her to be completely still.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Necrophilia.
The bitch don't move.
Right, exactly.
Play dead, I'm gonna kill you.
Most niggas want you to do the extra, like they killing it and they beating it up and put on the theatrics. And Ted was like, don't move. I'm gonna give you this short stroke and you gonna stay there like that. But that was litter shit. It was a longer version of litter shit, but we had to get it off, for these celebrities that we needed to know what was going on with them. So Dr. Bone, we appreciate that. Let's get into Ain't Shit in 2 Cents. It is our listener letter segment, where we give advice to listeners who clearly don't care about taking advice from people who drink a lot. And we have a letter here. So the letter reads as such. Hey Fresh, hey B Hill. Y'all are wild, but y'all actually give good advice, so I'm gonna give this a try. I am a lesbian, and I have a really good female friend that I've been friends with for over 10 years. We hang out often, and we count on each other. She is one of the few people I trust. We have held each other down through everything: deaths, work stresses, failed relationships, etc. It has been strictly platonic, although we joke about getting married because the dating pool out here is trash. Occasionally, I find myself thinking about what if. I have been thinking about shooting my shot, but I don't want to mess up a good friendship. Good friends are hard to find. What do y'all think I should do? B, go ahead, give your shit.
My shit is kind of direct, straight to the point. But it's actually I'm a little jaded on this one, because I understand like not wanting to mess up a good friendship. However, the whole you want to marry, or not necessarily marry, but be with a person that you are compatible with, friendship wise, right? So the whole adage, you want to marry your best friend, taking it to obviously the extreme, but you want to be with somebody that you're super compatible with. Obviously, she knows a lot about you. She's been there for you in certain times and vice versa. I'm like 60-40 on this one. Cause I mean, I'm a person that like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? If I like you, I like you, and I'm gonna try to goddamn.
You'll risk it.
Shake. Yeah, I risk it all. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you don't want to ruin it, but at the same time, you're going to have the doubts in the back of your head. So I'm a person that I try not to live with regrets and try not to, doubt myself. So if it ain't meant to be, like, I don't think, and if it's such a good friendship to the point where you can, salvage the relationship, I don't think you telling her how you feel about her would, be a detriment to the relationship.
Dr. Bone has changed B Hill.
So beautiful.
Right. When did B Hill get profound?
I would have to agree with everything you just said. I'm definitely somebody.
It's Dr. Bill.
I would definitely agree with that.
Dr. Bill, the H is silent.
Definitely agree. I think that you should. Life is short, and if you feel a certain way about somebody, that you should let them know. But you should also prepare yourself for any changes that may occur as a result of you shooting your shot.
Yeah.
You know, things may not be the same, but if the friendship is that strong and there's such a strong foundation that if you do and you decide not to pursue a relationship outside of friendship, that if it's really a strong friendship, it really shouldn't change.
Yeah.
I think that's
just invite her to the crib and just be naked. Just let her wake up in there.
Invite her to the crib and be naked. Okay. And Hennessy. With the Hennessy.
With the Hennessy.
So if it's going down, it's gonna really go down all night.
Yeah.
Hey, I agree with these two to a point, but I'm gonna give it a little bit slicker way to move into it. That's your friend. I feel like you should kind of test it out. You should throw like a statement out there to kind of dip your toe in there to see how she feels.
Indirect.
And then if she seemed like she with it, like, yo, have you ever thought about us being together? Like, make it seem like a joke or some shit. Yeah. And then proceed with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that way you kind of know how she feel and you can proceed with that. But I definitely agree with them. Like, if that's really your friend and y'all been friends for so long, it probably ain't gonna change as much. But to protect your own ego, I would say just dip your toe in, see if it's a little bit warm a little bit. You know what I mean? And then kind of proceed from there.
See, I'm more direct. I'm more like, you know, do you like me? Yes or no? There's no maybe box.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely maybe boxes. Because even if y'all do like each other, that shit can last 6 months, a year, and you know, after you date somebody, you don't really like them no more. So, and then y'all not friends no more because now you know what they look like when they got their face mask on. And they bonded on and they breath stink and they annoying and y'all can't figure out what to eat and you say what you want to eat and y'all, that's a whole hour conversation about that shit.
Well, women don't never know what they want to eat, so I don't see how lesbians do it. How do y'all eat? Cause y'all niggas women don't never, I don't know what you want to eat. Like, I don't know how the fuck y'all eat. What? Y'all got feeding tubes. Y'all be on IV.
Feeding tubes. Lesbian feeding tubes.
Yeah. I'm about to create that shit. That's my new invention. I'm about to get some lesbian feeding tubes. Cause y'all women don't never know what the fuck they want to eat. Y'all got to get that shit together.
I think women do know what they want to eat, but they just try to be too fucking considerate of the other person. You know what I mean? But they also know what the fuck they don't want to eat. So whatever you want to eat, they don't want to eat.
You know what they do want to eat, though.
Hey, if that's not what they want to eat, you in the wrong fucking relationship.
That's true.
So, my final advice is dip your toe in the pool, while B Hill turns into himself.
Yeah,
B Hill, your final advice is what to Anonymous?
Yeah, just just fuck it, try it, balls to the wall. You know what I'm saying? Just if you feel it, you know what I'm saying. If your little snatch get warm, you know what I'm saying. When she walk through, shit. Your little snatch. Yeah. And Dr. Bone, your final advice to Anonymous?
Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
She's certified in this, so shoot your shot. And direct all your comments to Dr. Bone if you get shut down. Yeah. If y'all would like to, Anonymous, let us know how that go. We like when we get follow-up letters. If you want advice from us, because we're clearly qualified to do that, write into the ain'tshitshow@gmail.com. And, that's an X where the I would be, and your letter may be read on the air.
Still waiting on those vagina pictures. Don't forget those. Be
still waiting on vagina pictures. So go. I'm not. Fresh is not waiting for vagina pictures. I don't even want to see the inside of your ovaries. Oh. Yeah, we're not waiting on vagina pictures. We'll take full frontals, but we don't want to see vaginas.
Yeah, we can just look at our own if we want to kind of have a visual. So.
Tasty Blacks.
Hey. He keep putting Tasty Blacks. Tasty Blacks, we need a sponsorship for B Hill.
Put us on the banner at the top. Come on, like World Star.
Oh my God.
So, Let's go into Free Smoke. Free Smoke is our segment where we talk about hot button issues, and it could be anything from politics to petty. And Dr. Bone, we've talked a lot about mental health diagnosis and how to treat those and what you recommend for those. But let's talk about really quickly about how to maintain your current mental health, how to maintain good mental health. So there's a lot going on in the climate with the Trump presidency, police shootings, white women calling the police for no reason, just being black in America. What do you recommend in times like this as far as just like maintaining your mental health and being on the up and up?
This is my favorite part, and I mean, we really got to practice self-care. And I think that, when people think about self-care, they just think about, going to the doctor and exercising and eating properly. But sometimes self-care goes beyond that. Eating properly and exercising and diet is great, but take a look at the things that contribute to your emotional well-being in your life. And that's your friend circle. Do you need to kind of adjust who you have it as your support system? I posted something on Instagram today that said, clean out your friend closet. If it's not fitting if it doesn't fit your personal growth, if you've outgrown it, it doesn't support you anymore, it's probably time to throw it out. I'm at the point where, right now in my life that if you're not for me, if you don't support me, then I need to remove you out of my personal space. And I'm also at the point where I really have no problems or no qualms with making those decisions. Whereas a younger me would have had some kind of reservation in doing so. But life is short. And so you have to definitely make sure that you have people around you and in your life who are for you and support you. We outgrow people and things all the time. Take a tech break. Social media is everything, but sometimes you got to remove yourself from all of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How many people wake up in the morning and grab their phone? I know I do. I lay in bed for an extra 15 minutes, like checking out social media.
Legs falling asleep on the toilet and shit.
Oh yeah, I don't even know how to do without my phone.
Right,
you feel lost without your phone.
Nobody does.
Nobody to my phone or toilet paper, I got to make a decision. Like, I
don't know. Nobody does. So when you talk about like all this exposure to what's going on with Trump and all the racism, I mean, we kind of overexpose ourselves by constantly letting it cycle through social media, and we are the ones who are hitting like open on the app. Sometimes you just got to take a break from all of that. You know what I'm saying? Kind of get in touch with some other things, because when there's a police shooting, and how many times do you watch it over and over and over from 8 different videos?
And we're becoming desensitized to it.
We are. I'm to the point I don't even watch them shits no more. Like I can't even, like I just scroll when I see like police and little black kid or black people. I just keep moving because I'm so like.
But I mean, you go through that period where you go through that you're enraged and you want to do something and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it just definitely messes with your own personal and your own mental health. We gotta sometimes take a break from all of that. And I'm guilty too with my phone and social media, and it's a great way to stay connected to friends and family, but it's also a great way to stay connected to just bullshit that's going on in the world. Remove yourself from doing that sometimes. Get an escape. I love taking vacation. I do. I love to kind of take a break from reality, even if I have to come back to it. Go somewhere, with a beach that's calm and peaceful, so I can get away from all the mess that's going on in the world, because it's still going to be there. But at least I can kind of have a break from it temporarily and kind of recharge my body and recharge my mind. And feel better when I come back and feel stronger and being able to handle it and deal with it. But you got to make self-care a priority, and by doing so, make yourself a priority. And being a little selfish and saying that as Black women, we take care of so many people. It's time for me to take care of myself. And that's definitely something that I've been promoting in terms of awareness and telling my friends, and everybody's kind of been aware that I've just kind of really been on this focus of that I want to be the best me that I can be. And in doing so, sometimes I got to put me first. And I think that for your mental well-being, for everybody, you got to put yourself first sometimes. Like, you guys were both sick last week. You know, things that we are committed to, they're not going anywhere. Take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Make
and
yourself
we definitely wanted to record. We
yeah,
definitely wanted to record.
It felt like, because this is now, I do it by
But you have to do that. You have to sometimes say, you know, you call in sick to work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, mental health day.
Tell somebody no. And these are all things that I've been sharing on my own social media, that, you know, these are things that we got to start incorporating consistently. Like, no is a full sentence in my book these days.
Period.
No.
Yes.
That's hard. No is a full sentence. That's hard.
No is a full sentence.
It's a full sentence. And when you get into that, when someone's asked you something and you know you're already overwhelmed, and you start being like, no.
Listen, I've had a thing in it, and I've especially incorporated it this year, is where I'm protecting my energy. I'm not using energy on shit that don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a few weeks back, but I was in the middle of an argument, and I just stopped. And I just started smiling. I'm just like, why the fuck am I using my energy on this? Like, at the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck. So why am I really using all of this energy? And I was like, Sean, you going fucking crazy? Cause I was just like, I don't need to use my energy for this, because no matter how this ends, I don't give a fuck about it. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know, I'm really using that, and I've really, you know, been talking to my family about like certain things. And I'm just like, y'all do this shit every day. You gonna use your energy on this shit once a week? Like, no, cause it's
my time.
Reclaiming my time.
Power over your own,
yes,
over your
my
emotions.
nigga.
Stop giving people power over your emotions. Like, when you stop being angry and frustrated with people, because they're going to be okay. You're sitting over here boiling with all this anger and resentment, and your high blood pressure, and just your body's going through all this tension and stuff like that, because you gave somebody else power over your emotions. And I tell my clients that all the time, like, it's time to take that power back. Like, it's time to let it go. It's time to forgive, forget, and move on, because the longer you stay angry with somebody, the more power they have over you. You don't have the power over them. They have it over you. So if you have to apologize, if you have to, you know, have an uncomfortable conversation, if you have to say some things that are difficult, but you know you need to say them and get them off your chest to people so that they don't continue to have power over you emotionally, you have to have those uncomfortable moments so that your own sanity stays intact.
That is very true. I agree with that 100%. Factory. No, we're not going to incorporate Factory, my nigga. We're
Fendi.
not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
That's what he listens.
Joe Budden said that's what the kids say, but nobody's heard that but Joe Budden, and that's the
Factoid.
And an effort to help friends and family and things like that. Like, we all have family members that we feel like a little bit off. You know, little Johnny be licking the bus window, and Uncle Larry live in the attic, and he only come out every now and then to eat, and he do all this crazy shit. But Black people do not like to really embrace help. What is your advice to individuals who may feel like they should support their family member by getting them help versus this motherfucker just like to do this shit? Like,
I would tell them to break the stigma, and sometimes you may have to be the person that starts that break, because it is a stigma in the Black community and in the Black household. And we all have had a family member who we knew something wasn't quite right, and we knew they weren't getting the help that they needed, or this was just like, it was normalized, like it was in that movie. What was the movie that was a long time ago? Was it Soul Food or something like that?
Soul Food.
So we knew something,
yeah.
You know, but we throw them up in, you know, in a corner room of the house and just kind of let them continue their life that way, and that's not fair. So I would say, you know, go ahead and be the one to break that stigma. And the other thing I would say to people is, you know, especially, you know, we deal with a lot of religious fanatics, and we have to stop telling people to just pray, to just pray their problems away. I mean, prayer is great, but you got to pray and take action too. You can't just tell somebody, just pray about it. Just pray about it. Oh, I'm thinking about hurting myself. Oh, just pray about it. You'll be okay. No. And the next thing you know, somebody takes their life because instead of you helping them take action and get the support they need, you just told them to pray about it. And that's something that we do as black people way too often, is tell people to just pray their problems away. And that has to stop. We have to break that stigma too.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. When you have people with like physical conditions, we've kind of been taught to don't treat them different. Treat them as you would any able-bodied person, because they kind of get offended if you treat a handicapped person like they are handicapped. More so that we've changed it to handy capable and all of those things. When we're dealing with mental health, and I know there are a lot of different mental health diagnoses, but if you're dealing with somebody with, let's say, things like bipolar, schizophrenia, things like that, where their personality may change, what is your recommendation? Do you treat them the same, or do you kind of change your approach with people like that? Because if you have somebody with like bipolar, they may get super mad about something, or they're super happy about something. Like, from the person on the other end, what is your recommendation on how to treat people that you suspect or that you know have certain mental health issues?
I mean, that's a good point. So let's just be real for a minute. So I understand the whole notion behind wanting to treat people who are handicapped or handy capable the same. But if you're in a wheelchair, you're in a wheelchair, right? If you're in a wheelchair, you can't climb up a flight of stairs. That's not happening.
Right.
If you're in a wheelchair, you're going to use a handy capable, accessible ramp or something like that. That's something that is what you need to assist you with getting to where you need to get to. And the same thing with mental illness. If somebody has a mental illness and we know what the triggers are, we're going to minimize or eliminate what those triggers are. If I know that somebody's triggered by certain sounds or certain places, I'm not going to expose them to that. So as much as you want to try to, normalize certain things for people, you also have to recognize the fact that this is something that somebody is really dealing with and battling. And I'm going to put things in place and do things and make certain decisions that is going to minimize any additional impact to what they're going through. So I'm going to, if I know something's triggering this person, if I know what the triggers are as a family member, as a spouse, or as a friend, I'm not going to say, you know what, I'm going to try to normalize you and expose you to this environment anyway. You're not going to do that.
Right. That's so you should treat them as such.
You be aware of what people need, especially if you know what the needs are, and try to make the environment conducive to where they are and meet them where they are. You're not going to make somebody climb up a flight of stairs who's in a wheelchair. You're not.
Yeah.
That's a good analogy. So I'm not going to expose somebody to, I'm not going to expose somebody to a campfire who is suffering from PTSD because their house burned down. You know what I mean? So, because I want to normalize the experience for them. No, I'm going to recognize that this person has been through something, and this may be a trigger for them, and act accordingly.
Gotcha. Well, that makes perfect sense. And I want to thank you, Dr. Bone, for coming on the show today. This has been really insightful. I want to thank you guys for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the show. Follow us at The Ain't Shit Show on all social media, Twitter, IG, YouTube, SoundCloud, Facebook. Rate us on Apple Podcasts. We're trying to get to the Apple Noteworthy page. Tell a friend to tell a friend. I want to give a special shout out to A Seat at the Table podcast. They're based out of New York with their host Gelda. I can't say her name for shit. Galanda Adams. Her name is Gail Hurst, but she goes by Galanda Adams. She showed us love on her show, and I just want to return that love. So thank you for shouting us out. I love her show. She does it with one person. I feel like that's very hard to do and be entertaining, but she's very entertaining. Dr. Bone, thank you again. How can people, reach out to you?
They can reach out to me via my website, www.quarlescounseling.com. That's QUARLES counseling.com.
All right. And yeah, y'all hit her up, especially if you're in the Charlotte area. She's very qualified. She's very good.
And if you're not in the Charlotte area, we do telemedicine these days, and so same way that I am looking at both of your beautiful faces, I can also do telecounseling via Skype and other secure.
My bad, I almost stopped your coin. You don't have to be in the Charlotte area. You can be in Mars.
Not anymore.
You can be in Russia. You can be wherever you are. Make sure you hit up Dr. Bone and give them that www again.
.quarlescounseling.com.
Hey, do that. And I like to end every episode with a quote. And what got me to this quote was just me thinking about all the stuff that's going on racially, Trump, the mind, all of that. And the quote is, the most potent weapon of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed.
Amen.
And until next time, I want y'all to be great. And Wakanda forever. Y'all have a good one, man. Hey, and it's a wrap.
Thank you, guys. This is so much fun. I'll be back next Tuesday, same time, same place.
She with us now.